Oh no! It's rather a massive box for a Dremel accessory, isn't it? Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to King Bespoke Creations. Yes, we've got the Dremel Workstation today. Thank you very much to Dremel for sending this to me. Right, let's quickly dive into the box and see what we've got. Right, let's open it up. I honestly have not opened this yet, so let's see. Complicated box. It's a rather large bonking pole, isn't it? Oh, good solid base. I suspect this is the all-important bit where we get some plungy activity thing going on. Bits and bobs and some instructions. We should probably look at those, but you know. Right, so I guess the first thing is to put this big pipe into here. So we've got to take this rubber things off. Takes a bit of prying to get that off. We've got a bolt and a nut to bolt that into the back. You'll see on here, after we've taken the caps off, there's a plastic end on here and there's another plastic end on the thinner piece. So they want to go in like that. Oh, there we go. It's quite tall. So this little lever comes with a square nut that slots in the back. This is what's actually going to clamp it to the pole. And then we can just tighten that up there. And then that's set for height. So you've got that amount of adjustment, but we're set for height with that as well. Also, this top pole has a twist function on it. So twist it, it can lower up and down. Twist it back again, and it tightens up in place to lock it on. Extra little pieces. This little bit of plastic is for hanging all of the bits on. So the holes in the top here are for putting things like bits in to keep them all safe and secure. So that just slots onto there. So we've got one of these hanging sections on the top, which makes it exactly the same as this stand that we've got here. So as with most Dremel attachments, take the collar off, and then we're going to be using this thread to get it into here to hold it fast. Make sure the front section where you got your locking part is at the front and actually has a rotating nut on the bottom to make sure that's tight and secure. Right, time to look at what functions this have. Now obviously the main function of this is a little mini drill press. Now I've put my cordless Dremel into here, but there are nice little clips here for your cord if you use a corded system, so you can tuck that out the way and then that will run off towards your section, so it's not going to get in the way, it's not going to be dangling around and getting dangerous. So here's the height adjustment knob. So we turn this and then we can move this section up and down to make sure that we've got enough height to play with. Now one of the features of this that you can't get on a big fancy drill press is that it turns, so that we can use this as a holding system, so that we can use the grinding sections, polishing sections, and hold the material sideways on. There are markers on here. So there's a big marker on there. Each one of these little markings is another 15 degrees. So we've got 90, 75, 60, 45, 30, 15, and then completely flat. To lock that off, we have this, which marks that nice and tight. That's not going anywhere then. There's also a secondary clamp over here that again just pulls things a little bit tighter to make sure that this is not going to move sideways when we're drilling, just for a little bit more accuracy. When we're drilling, we have a depth stop here as well, so we can slacken that off, move that through to the correct height that you want. There are markers on here, though I always prefer to use real life measurements, and that will stop it from going down any further. So if you want a very specific depth, you can set that with that depth lock. Let's put a bit in there. Access to the lock. I'm going to use the collar from the end. I like using that. So I've set the depth stop here just to make sure we don't go too deep, and let's have a look. Works very nicely. So as expected, a 90-degree plunge, brilliant, not a problem at all. Right, let's slacken this off and that one at that side as well. And then let's give this a tilt. So we're now running at 45 degrees. So just tighten things back up again. Now obviously at that, as I plunge that way, we can see dead ahead there. As soon as we tilt that, the angle is coming off the bed, and that's not going to be great, because as you do that, it's going to tilt. But we don't have to leave it like that, because of course we can move this section at the back. So we can rotate this around and work in the same plane. So that's going to come through, and at least it's been supported on here. Right, let's see what that does at an angled cut. Well, so that does actually cut a really nice angled hole. There's no wobble, there's no adjustment on there. It's not deflecting off at any point, so that's good. So the big question, does it work? Yeah, of course it does. It works as a mini pillar drill, and also as the holdfast for working with other systems as well. Is it going to replace my big pillar drill that's in the corner of the workshop? No, of course it isn't, but that's not what it's designed to do. This is to extend the range of your Dremel rotary tool, as all of these accessories are, so that that investment you make in a Dremel rotary tool can be expanded and worked in your small little hobby workshop. This isn't meant for industrial use, but it does do the job very well. Small detail work very accurately, and it can do more than it just maybe says on the box. Thank you again to Dremel for sending this to me. I'm sure it will become a part of my workshop fixture for some of those small delicate tasks. Now if you're wondering what you might want to make in your little workshop shed, check out this playlist here. There's some fantastic ideas in there. And until next time, sharpen some tools, grab your Dremel, and I'll see you soon. God bless.